Hello. Today I want to work with a rolled up blanket. This happens to be a Mexican blanket. You can use a large beach towel if that works better for you. Not too big, not too slippery because you are going to be laying on it. So slippery can kind of move around a little bit. So a beach towel may work better for what you've got. What we're working on today is a hip flexor relief. So that's this right here, that hip crease where your thigh connects into your body. The hip flexors are what pick up your legs when you're walking. When you sit a lot, it shortens up those hip flexors and hyperextends your hamstrings on the backside. If you spend a lot of time sitting, that also means that your gluteal muscles are probably not firing or working as well as they could. So this series that we'll do is one that you can do if you spent too much time sitting at your desk, in a car, in an airplane, or standing for too long in one place as well, right? Because you're just standing, so hips and pelvis get a little locked up. Now it can work also to help release low back pain as well as your pelvic floor, because the pelvic floor is the source where all of your balance and movement moves through, right? Weight transition, all of that through the pelvic floor. This area below the belly button, right, the first chakra in yoga, is, I refer to it as the junk drawer of the body. It's the space where we put all of the stuff around who am I, who are my people, where do I belong, sex, money, all of those sorts of things go in the junk drawer, and then we can lock them up from sitting, standing, doing anything. Riding in a car, riding in an airplane, locks up your pelvis and makes that all lock up tight. So in order to kind of give that space some more breathing room, working with a specific pelvis hip flexor release can be really great, especially if you're traveling for the holidays or just traveling, period. You know, sitting in that airplane seat for this long contracts those hip flexors, hyperextends the hamstrings. So you're going to take this blanket and put it right at that point where your hip flexors are. So it's going to be right around mid belly right here. And we're just going to, I've got mine rolled up so the fringe is at the top so it doesn't unroll. And come and lay down right here. And you can rest your head on your hands. And we are going to start out with working with opposite hand and leg, so contralateral. I'm going to shift down here a little bit. And the reason that I am starting with that space is because sometimes the right and left sides of your brain, your central nervous system, can become disconnected from the right and left sides of the body. And so that can lead to tightness. It can lead to muscles not firing or working as well as they could. So we'll start with that, and then we'll move into some work that will help with those gluteals and getting those gluteals to activate, and then we will do the softening and releasing and relaxing. So coming down here, take your arms long in front, and as you inhale, you're going to lift your right arm and your left leg up off the floor, not too high, right? Foot no higher than hip height, and release down. Same thing on the other side. We're going to repeat that now 9 more times. And 3. And 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And that's it. All right, so moving on from here, I'm going to bend my elbows, rest my head on the backs of my hands. I'm going to bend my right knee, flex my ankle with my sole of the foot pressing towards the ceiling. And we are going to lift and lower for 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one is 10 and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Release down and relax. Now you're going to feel that fire up your gluteal here, right into your hamstring insertion point here. Same thing on the other side. Bend your left knee, flex that ankle, and lifting for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now release that thigh down, lengthen your leg, and from here, I want you to just rest. You can turn your head to either side, right? Whatever feels better. And we want to make sure that the glutes and the hamstrings are not still clenching because we just worked them all. And they tend to like to, with those big muscle groups, get in, hold on for dear life. So I want you to just rock your hips from side to side gently to just give those muscles the signal that they can start to relax. And then come back to center and let your hips relax right here. Take a nice big deep inhale. And as you exhale, think about softening your hips, your pelvis, your belly, your glutes, your hamstrings. And with every inhale, think about expanding and creating space. And every exhale, you're softening, relaxing, releasing. Now, you can stay here anywhere from 30 seconds to, a couple minutes if that feels good to you. When you are ready to come up, I want you to take your time because we have been in a deep relaxation space. So bring your palms to the floor and gently press yourself up to your hands and your knees. And take your blanket and take it off to the side, and then bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees apart. Relax your hips back and lower down to child's pose. Now, here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to think about, I have to extend my arms really long and then take your body forward. What I want you to think about is bending your elbows and sinking your sit bones back towards your heels, right? I'm pressing in with the heels of my hands to draw my sit bones back towards my heels. And then release down. And once again, you can stack your hands and let your forehead rest on the backs of your hands. And with this pose, I want you to focus on your exhale because you're in a downward facing pose, right? You're going to have more room for the exhale. So take an inhale and sigh it out. And again, thinking about softening and relaxing with your exhale. And then after about 4 or 5 breaths, go ahead and gently move up. Come to a seated space so that your body can just sort of self-regulate a little bit after doing that work, doing the deep relaxation, and then slowly get up and move on with the rest of whatever it is you have planned for your day. If you have questions about this, let me know, because this is a really great thing to use for a variety of situations, because most people sit or stand sometimes for long periods of time in one place, especially if you're traveling, right? Or the other thing is if you do a lot of walking, This is really great, and it's fantastic for folks who ride bicycles because you always have that hip flexor working and being a little shorter because it's not a full extension and relaxation. So if you ride bikes a lot, this is a great one for you. Again, if you have questions, let me know.